What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Mihir's trading journey. This is your boy Mihir, and it's always great to have you guys here. Now, before we start this video, first things first, I don't want anyone going out of their way to illegally hurt anyone part of this whole fast track trading scam by doxing their personal information, financial information, and their living addresses, and so on and so forth. Because once you step into that kind of revenge territory, you become the person you hate the most. And I don't want any of my viewers or anyone that was part of this fast track trading drama to become that they hated. Now that that's out of the way, let's go right into the video. Now, first things first, those of you that don't know, fast track trading was a direct funded firm, very new in the market, 6-7 months old, that has officially ceased operations as of last week. Right now, I'm going to show you some live stream examples of what they did after they ceased operations. First thing what happened was Scott and the team started deleting their Discord server one channel at a time. And what makes this look more scammy and more disingenuous was that Scott deletes his Twitter almost immediately. And here's the proof on stream right now.
Their Discord went missing. Everything has been deleted from their page. You can no longer see your accounts. You can no longer see his Twitter account, which says it doesn't exist. So this was not a soft bankruptcy or honest bankruptcy or anything like that. This was promises and then rock pool.
Now that was a snippet of Scrambo talking. Now I'm going to leave the link down to his video in the description below as well. Go support him. He has a good cause in all of this drama going on right now. Bringing it back, it looks really scammy because now you've closed all your methods of communication from customers to customers and customers back to you. So the customers officially have no say and they can't even communicate how they feel about this whole situation. Now for me, I was one of the fools that trusted Fast Track Trading, Scott and the team, to curate this really cool community of traders that could actually be successful in a direct funded manner. Whether it be directly or indirectly, I ended up marketing for them on my channel. And even if I got one person to sign up with FTT, I feel absolutely disgusted. Now we all know businesses do have risks in operation. They could cease operation at any given time, but there's something about going genuinely bankrupt and telling people ahead of time that financials aren't showing up as promised versus straight up just deleting your channels and your way of communications in one day, deleting all the accounts, leaving people hanging, and really not giving a good disclosure. The only disclosure we got was this letter on your website and your Discord channel, which you ended up deleting anyways, Scott, that felt half genuine, and it didn't really even feel like it came from the bottom of your heart, no matter how many times you say that, you know, you really did care. So why don't we bring up that letter right now and let's see how genuine this letter really is. So I'm going to say out what the letter says. You guys feel free to read along. Dear Fast Track Trading community, it is with a heavy heart that I share the news that Fast Track Trading has officially ceased operations. This decision was not made lightly, and it comes with many weeks of grappling with the challenges of disrupting an established industry. In the short time we've been here, we've worked hard to make an impact introducing affordable, instant funded futures accounts and pushing major players to rethink their offerings. This was a new frontier for all of us, and we're immensely proud of the mark we've made together. Scott and the team seems like they're really proud of the disruption that they've created in this established industry, bragging about how they brought in very affordable instant funded futures accounts and that they've left a mark on the industry. The only mark that you've left on this industry, fast track trading, is a giant gaping hole that hurts the entirety of the futures trading prop firm market that will take years to fill up, if even that. Here's a little clip of Chunky Trades addressing how this whole drama was happening from the beginning and how unprofessional your response was to people that were genuinely concerned and trying to ask you legit questions.
We get a lot of like him telling traders who are innocently asking for some update on their payout, oh, you're effing pissing me off, payments are coming, and then they don't come. Here's another example, you know, hey Scott, I'm reaching out to you because you're the only one that approves payments. He says, I thought I banned you. And then somebody else messages, he says, don't F with me today. You know, it's completely inappropriate.
Here's a snippet of you saying that you're going to speed up the payout process from March 11th. Payouts will happen every day this week between 9 p.m. and 12 a.m. We are targeting a daily volume of 250 to 550K every day. Let's kill this backlog. Fast forward to November, there's people still not paid for almost 2 months. That is absolutely disgusting. That is completely against your own promises. That's just over promising and under delivering. And that's not the first time you've done this. Let's look at this one. This is a list of promises you made that you would get done by fall. Most of these things actually didn't happen. Rhythmic private server happened and maybe Motive Wave relaunch, and that's about it. Everything else, when asked about, you kept pushing it forward, and eventually actually you admitted that Trade Evade, CQG rug pulled you and they didn't actually give you any support to go on with a deal. I wonder why that could be. Let's move to the second paragraph of this letter. As a young growing company, we faced immense pressure while striving to bring change to a space that's been set in ways for years. Unfortunately, these pressures ultimately proved more than we could manage, bringing us to this difficult point. We are deeply sorry to all of you who believed in us and joined us in this journey. Majority of that pressure was coming from your self-inflicted harm. Let's take a look at this. You're a young growing company. You're looking to get customers. You're trying to be that one prop firm that's the best. So what do you do for your marketing? You start a ton of drama. Any genuine business CEO can understand this. Bad drama is not the way to go when you're beginning. It might work for some people, but majority of the time it does not work, especially in prop industries that has already been dominated by people that have been working in the prop industry for a decade now. You actually started calling out YouTubers that weren't with you. This is your message to Trades by Matt. It doesn't look too professional as you want to sound, Scott, when you start calling traders like @TradesByMatt who want to pass judgment on firms they know nothing about. How about instead of calling them out, fix your PR, market to them how you are different. And then you go on in that same paragraph bragging about how fast track trading enriches its traders first above all else, calling him a little man. That's absolutely disgusting. And here's Trades by Matt's reply on November 8th when you actually went down. He said, I'll never forget this tweet, picture below, especially because I never talked to the guy. I was just saying it how I saw it, unfortunately, long ago. Gary and I deleted their company name from being allowed to be typed in our Discord and my YouTube in July due to them using advertising bots all over YouTube comments and Discord, and we thought something seemed super off with it all. It's sad how this behavior has entered the future side, and I hope for the sake of traders and our industry, it never happens again. Your behavior there, your ego there, absolutely unacceptable there, Scott. And then you say you face immense pressure while striving to bring change to the space. That pressure came from your own bad PR, Scott. Let's look at some of these messages that have been leaked within the community of fast track trading and their team. Here's Scott saying, can someone reach out to Ben and Kyle? Let them know I paid them first. They're the biggest ones on the books, and with the money pouring in today, it just made sense. Corey then replies, a CTO at the company, yep, I'll reach out to Kyle. And Scott goes and tells him to keep it quiet. He wants to hush and silence the affiliates so they don't go on telling other people that they got paid, so they don't get more affiliates that are smaller in size because they don't have the funds to pay them. Corey replies, the CTO, I let Kyle know and told him to stay quiet about it. You can see how like this whole company was scheming within their own staff members as well. It wasn't just Scott. Everyone was involved. They knew what they were doing. They were replying as if they knew what they were doing, yet they kept it from everyone else. Kareem, the CIO of the company, says, Kyle and quiet don't belong in the same sentence. He's a YT personality. He's gonna brag. That's absolutely disgusting how the CIO, the CTO, and the CEO of the company are working together in tangent to actually shut up the big affiliates by paying them off, but keeping them quiet so they don't actually tell other people that they got paid. That way they get less affiliates coming in and signing up for the program because they don't have the funds to pay them, but they don't want to say that. Scott then says, I texted him to shut up until Thursday. And then Kareem, the CIO, says, or else he's banned, LOL. This seems really funny to you, Kareem. This seems really funny that you're scamming people, hushing down people. This has to be a lawsuit. Corey replies, Lamau, it's only a few days. I think he can hold it until then. So this is all just a joke to these people. This is all just a drama. They're going to pay their biggest affiliates, hush them up, basically bribing them. That way they don't get new smaller affiliates that they can't pay because they don't have the funds to pay, and keep dragging on the people that they actually have to pay that are in the affiliates program besides the big ones. My message here doesn't go to Ben or Kyle, whoever the affiliates were. These guys are unknown to what's going on, right? They don't have the inside of the company. But wait, there's more. Ryan, the CRO, says, we need to prioritize Kyle for his affiliate requests. Then Matthew comes in and says, I've been on Boss about affiliates for a while. Boss meaning Scott, by the way. I'll put Kyle's ticket high priority if I hadn't already. So you were scamming the very people that actually bring in customers for you in tons and tons of quantity by paying just the very, very top affiliate earners, who, by the way, have been waiting themselves for a while for their money to arrive in their banks, and keeping the smaller affiliates out of this whole payout picture, which is absolutely disgusting, and this will get taken to court. Hadn't have enough proof yet, guys. Here's another chat that was leaked out. Monique, the market analyst, said, something got to be done though. Nacho has reeled up $1.5 million and he isn't stopping, LOL. How do you recommend? I'm all ideas always. Scott then replies, literally saying he isn't getting that. Scott then comes back and says, in fact, I want his accounts frozen pending an investigation. So if someone's making tons and tons of money on your prop firm, you immediately pen an investigation against their account? And you automatically say he's not getting that without even doing the investigation and figuring out what's actually going on? What if that 1.5 million was a genuine strategy that this person has been using? Monique then comes back and says, but you have to agree on one thing. These folks are profitable in the raw aspect of trading. Otherwise, it would be quite hard to game the system and have Nacho be making money on every prop firm he's traded with. Same with Web, Kane, Lanto, do literally live streams, LOL. So once again, this seems just like a joke to them, right? They don't want to pay out their affiliates and they don't want to pay out their top traders, let alone any other trader that's making even small amount of money. This is absolutely disgusting. Scott then comes in and says, no, because he doesn't want to admit the fact that this could be a really good strategy and a system that really works for this trading person who's been profitable across multiple prop firms, admitted by the market analyst Monique himself. Jeff, the general counsel, comes in and says, they aren't trading. I believe they are using market neutral strategies across entire populations. It's arbitrage profits. So without actually investigating and without coming to a conclusion through that scientific investigation, you come in and already come up with these conclusions that they're not going to get paid out. They're probably using a fake strategy just because they're making a lot of money. Your own market analyst thinks that these guys are profitable. How more disgusting can you get? Oh, I know. Scott says we will freeze his LLC, whichever he didn't get paid on. Of course. And that's how you become more disgusting. Here's another message going back and forth in their team. This time they're talking about Isaac Suffren, who's a YouTuber who was, I think, part of their affiliates program. The main thing I want you guys to focus up here on is this absolutely ridiculous back and forth that's happening here. Jeff, the general counsel, saying we should do a deal with Isaac. Scott then says make the guy a deal. Jeff then says I closed Mona Trades. I'm assuming that's another YouTuber. And Scott again repeatedly, like an annoying teenager, says make the guy a deal. Now Mike, the senior data analyst. Now I want you guys to focus up on the position that this person is holding. Senior data analyst comes from a different part of the company, but him replying saying top step him over a bit when they had him, so I'm sure he wouldn't mind a new happy home. Now what is Scott's reply? Between Kyle, Whelan, Tanya, Mona, Isaac, Juicy Trades, we are killing it. Scott again coming in, bragging about how he has top affiliates. Once again, proving the fact that he's willing to pay the very, very top affiliates who actually have been waiting to get paid in the first place, and basically saying that they're not going to pay any other affiliates. Everyone else is a small fry. This message right here concludes the fact that this is once again just all a joke to them. They're only serious about the top affiliates. They don't care about their top traders. Every time their top traders actually make money and a good amount of money, they think it's bad. They think they must be tricking the system, yet they're not willing to pay all of their affiliates and all of their traders. And once again, this leak message shows you that different parts of the company, different staff members at different positions were in on this all together. It's not like they weren't aware of this. Now, some of them might have not been aware of this, but we know a lot of them were aware of this and in fact, actively part of this whole scheme / scam that's been taking place at Fast Track Trading. But of course, Scott and the Fast Track Trading team, you want to sound deeply sorry and you want to show people that believed in you that you really did care. Well, let's talk about how much you really cared. A few months back, you had a person show up at your porch, and here's a proof and messages that this actually did happen. Someone asked in the Discord, why did some black guy threaten him a few months back? And a reply came from someone else saying he missed payout and dude got evicted. He was a veteran. Bro showed up at his porch. Scott actively denied a payout to a veteran who ended up showing up at his porch. Now, after reading up a lot on this drama, I know that it's not right for someone to actually dox someone and show up at their house. It is threatening. But what is the reaction that Scott actually has? One of the first things that appear in Scott's wonderful mind, who runs this amazing, great business, is a derogatory term. And don't take it from me. Take it from Scott himself. Here's an audio clip of him admitting that he said that.
I called that guy the N-word. I did. And I screenshotted it. I was treating an animal like an animal. I don't care if he was black, white, purple, red, Indian, Croatian, from Antarctica. Doesn't matter where he's from. I'm not racist. But what I am is protective of what's mine. I'm protective of my family, my business, my people, and my life. And nobody will take that from me.
No, Scott, you're definitely not racist, but you know, just a black veteran showing up at your house and you just so happen to call him the N-word is just very interesting to me. You're protective. You couldn't use any other words. You couldn't strike a deal with him. You couldn't call the police. You couldn't send him back. No, you're going to use that word. And maybe all of that happened. Maybe you did strike a deal with him. Maybe you did call the cops. Maybe you did point a gun at him and show him the way out. But really, one of the first things that really appears in your mind during that situation is calling someone the N-word. You got to be kidding me, right? But of course, we're supposed to believe that you are deeply sorry and you are thanking everyone that joined you on this journey. When your behavior towards people is so disgusting. This really transitions into the last few words Scott has said in this letter. For those with active accounts, we have set up a refunds inbox at refunds@fasttracktrading.net. We are committed to doing our very best to provide refunds as quickly and fairly as possible. Please reach out and we will handle each request with care and integrity. Those of you that have been scammed by Fast Track Trading, please do actually email them ask for the refund for your active accounts. They're not going to refund you for any other accounts. They're not going to refund you for your payouts. They're not going to actually pay you out at all. They kind of want to open up this channel of communication way. Probably their legal told them to do so the banks don't get involved, because when there's a chargeback and there is a line of support that the company provides, the bank is very hesitant to get into the middle of this whole drama, because you do have a direct connection with the company to talk back and forth with. And obviously this kind of lowers down a little bit of the punishment that they'll probably be facing in the legal litigations. As much as I want to say they will pay you back, I'm really hesitant to say that they are, because the proof says otherwise. Here's an example. Feel free to pause the video and read this. Here's another example. Oh no, Scott, I'm sorry. You're very protective like you mentioned earlier, but that's why it also gives you the right to say what you're saying there, right? Of course, hypocrisy at its finest. Oh look, here's the time when Scott took his time to actually say all the threats that he's getting is very harmless, all while having a very kiddish talk with someone back and forth because he has enough time to do all of this. And another one. Is it a time when Scott threatened someone, one of his top traders actually, who asked him a very bare simple question. His question was really simple. How is the automated approval system that FTT had implemented just a month ago quicker than the manual 5 to 7 days for approval? Another 2 weeks for payment and we are back at same old same. Scott sounding really professional by saying, kind of tired of this from you. You have made a lot of money here. I'm about to ask you to take your payments and leave. Very professional, Scott. This shouldn't piss anyone off. All your customers should eat your words and just keep pushing forward. But when it comes to you hearing your customers' responses, you have a very, very strong reaction to it. Then again, why am I surprised from this person?
I think you're beautiful and smart, and I'm really excited to get to know you.
Or team members such as this and this. Oh yeah, about that strong response when people actually threaten you, Scott. Here's another example. Person simply asks you, so you're proud of the scam you pulled off. How do you reply? No scam. Good night. Go ahead and post this. You or anyone come near my family and I will kill you myself. Try me. Right. You have every right to protect your family and you have every right to threaten someone in defense. But no one else can say anything to you when it comes to their livelihood being taken away from them when you don't pay them out and hold them over for 2 months and not pay them. What if it's their bread and butter to trade? What if they trusted you enough to switch over to you and completely rely on you and your prop firm? All that being said, I don't think it's a proper way to dox someone, Scott or anyone for that matter. I think the proper way to do is take it through legal, file litigations, and take the person to court. And I think when you start stepping into the illegal territory of doxing someone, you are starting to become the person you are hating on and you're threatening. Thank you truly for your support, trust, and time you spent with us. I'm profoundly grateful for each one of you, and I am hopeful that the changes we made will continue to benefit traders in the future. And we're really supposed to believe that, Scott, right? When the leaked spreadsheet of your payouts actually says that in the last few days of your business, to be exact, on November 6th, you paid yourself a whopping $37,000. And that's not even including all the other staffs you paid in the last few days of the business. You well knowingly paid your staff knowing that the business is going to go down, but you weren't willing to pay your customers, your official profitable traders that have been waiting for months on end to get paid. There's nothing more to call this but scam. At this point, not even a peanut with all the evidence that I've just shown can even for a second think that the message that you've wrote as your final piece of letter to your customers is coming anywhere but from the bottom of your heart. And I have proof for that as well. Let's listen to the first few minutes of Scott's last meeting, guys, before he shut down his Discord server.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm going to say a few words. Please stay on mute. And when I'm finished, I'll turn it over to Jen, Jay, and Angel to answer questions. I apologize that there's even more FUD spreading, particularly from KD. The management team and myself were hoping to hold them off until we had the right time to tell you this. Despite all of your commitments, your tireless work, your belief in our mission, fast track trading cannot continue. I made a lot of mistakes earlier on with a number of things, and they've cascaded beyond even sensibilities, anyone's sensibilities. The hate, the FUD, the YouTubers have their voices have become far too powerful, unfortunately. But even given my giant ego.
Yes, when you scam thousands and thousands of traders out of their payouts for months on end and not pay your affiliates what they deserve, yes, their voices will become bigger than your ego. What kind of statement is that?
We cannot win.
Of course you can't win.
Further to that, even our vendors have closed the doors on us, which I will make clear on our exit how unfair this is. AMP Trading closed our account with close to $200,000 in it. Mercury closed our account with hundreds of thousands in it.
Yeah, your vendors such as Tradeovate, AMP, right, and your credit card processing company called Mercury turned their back on you, on a person that has fraudulent history and fraudulent credit history. Oh yeah. It's very unfair for them to do that. Turning their back on someone that's actively running what seems like a scam right now and has a history of credit fraud. And you're the one to say that they're being unfair. All right, Scott, cut the bullshit. I'd sympathize with you if you actually gave us heads up that your company's financially struggling and gave us chances to get out of the company, switch over to a different prop firm, provided us refunds ahead of time. Since you saw the trend happening, we can see it from the proof that I've provided so far in this entire video. But no, you chose to rug pull at the very end, very last second to cover your own ass. What really probably happened was what this Discord user actually mentioned in their whole essay, writing to you about your vendors pulling the rug from under you. And I'm going to read it. Nitro is down because most likely FTT lost their license. Credit card isn't working since chargebacks is all-time high. Alerted the bank, so FTT is no longer a customer. With current track record, no bank will back them up. No affiliate will vouch for them due to non-payment. No one is buying more accounts, so we are not getting our money. At this time, legal actions should be strongly considered. Whatever Scott/FTT changed in the rules won't shield him from prosecution in court for intentional fraud. I'll be coming back to that paragraph because I have proof of that as well. We have his name and address and should go straight to the Attorney General in the state of New Jersey and start our case. Scott lured us in when Apex was in heated situation. He offered 0 commissions with 100% split, easy rules, and straight to PA, up to 40 accounts for each person. Now looking back, he only wanted to take as much money as he can up front and never planned to stay long in the prop firm space. And a side note from this user was, if this company is honest, they should have a separate room called unpaid or backlog so we can put in there how much we're owed. And that's completely true. I agree with 100% of what they said. Now, rewinding a little bit back into the message, I want to pull up another proof showing how their team themselves had an idea of what is illegal and legal based off of this back and forth message that we had on October 25th. Sarah, the tech support, asks, anyone have the term and conditions for the rule change? You know, because what we did was illegal and we will be in big trouble. I got someone fighting with me and I just need that to send to them to shut up. I have looked, LOL. Cassandra, another tech support person, pulls out the link on their website and says, this one, question mark. Sarah then, with poor English as a tech support, says, I don't see the part where we can change the rules whenever. Then Graham, a tech support, comes in and asks, what's going on here? Then Wei, another tech support, confusingly says, no way that there is no terms and conditions are subject to change clause in their terms and conditions. So we have proof that you knew that what you've done was not right, and the fact that you didn't even have that in your terms and conditions, and you didn't update your terms and conditions to provide the fact that there are cases where the terms and conditions could be changed, is absolutely disgusting, uncalled for, and definitely a legal action needs to be taken on that. To wrap up my final thoughts, guys, the voices of traders who scam Scott, they are here. You will have to face them. There's going to be legal action taken against you, a bunch of litigations. You're going to be going in and out of court. And this really hurts me to say, Scott, as much as I trusted you when I joined in with your prop firm, I strongly do believe now at this point that you were a scam from the start. There is evidence beyond belief that you knew what you were doing. You wanted to just scam people and not stay in the prop industry for too long. You got your money and you're out of here. So good luck going back and forth in court. That being said, guys, I will say make peaceful litigations, take legal action. Please do not dox anyone. A lot of the staff members themselves got laid off. They were lured in, making them think the company was actually legit. And I think disrupting someone's life by doxing them is actually not a good way to go about it. And I think one of the worst ways you can actually take action against a scam is to dox them in the first place. I think legal action is the best way and best course to take, because you don't want to end up becoming someone that you hated. You don't want to act like Scott, like an angry teenager and a scam who thinks that they know how to run business and legal stuff in the name of scam. If you guys want me to make another video of reacting to the full final meeting of FTT and my thoughts on it, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. That being said, guys, I always say this in my live stream every single morning is make sure you are trading with multiple prop firms. Do not get emotionally attached to one prop firm. I went back and forth with Scott once in the FTT Discord about the same thing that I'm saying right now is don't get emotionally attached to a specific prop firm, spread your risk and spread your profits across multiple prop firms. That way, if one goes down, you have multiple prop firms to work with still. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining. And once again, please take legal action. Do not dox anyone. Don't show up to their porch. Not only are you harming them, you're harming their family that might not actually be part of this whole scheme. And once again, for your own safety, don't show up to someone else's porch either. If you dox someone, they can definitely dox you back in revenge. I will see you guys in the live stream on Monday. Until then, peace out and good luck.